Hello, good to be with you again today for our daily reflection taken from the YouVersion Bible at Verse of the Day. And today it's 1 John 3:18.
Good.
Yep, you going to read it?
Okay. Dear children, let us love with words or speech. Let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth.
Yes.
Good. Very important. As we say often, makes me think of the time when I was walking home from work, had a really hard day, had been a hard week, and as I was walking up, and everything in me was thinking, I'm going to walk in that door and sit down and relax and have a bit of a blob time. And I had a sense that God said, yeah, Jenny hasn't had an easy day either, and she's had kids at home, so I'm not sure a blob
Time is the moment.
No, that's right. And so my choice was to walk in the door and be there present for Jenny and the kids, and do whatever needed to happen, and wait for that blob time later in the day or the evening. I don't know whether I got it or not, but it was an important moment for me to remember what and think of and learn about what serving is. And I think this is what it's talking a bit about.
Yep, so it's love in action. Thank you for doing that.
It's okay.
Let me just say, put on
That's all right.
record.
Yep.
It often was a very difficult time when I think at that point there were 4 kids at home. We didn't have number 5 yet, but they were small children running around under my feet, and it was great to know that Stephen was coming home and helping me. You know, he'd take a couple of our sons out to kick the footy in the park at the back of the house, and so things like that.
A couple of our sons, the 2 sons we had.
A couple of our kids, our sons, who needed to run around outside with Dad, and that was really good time of day.
Yeah, so in some ways it didn't matter how much I said I love you, although I do, and that's important. It was also in my actions and what I did that was really important in that. I think also, Jenny, it's been part of, for us to show our love. Now, it's obviously just talking about love broader than just husband and wife, but wanting and being prepared and wanting to tell the truth to each other, even when that's been difficult. I know there's been plenty of times where you've said, I think I need to tell you this, Stephen, and a bit worrying about what I was going to say or react and all the rest of it. And it was hard for you to get out. And that's all part of loving in truth too. Being willing to say the hard things or the difficult things in love, but appropriately and correctly.
And that
as well.
can also mean in love in the moment too. I mean, in the moment as in choosing the right moment to say the thing. So I wouldn't have, well, I might have tried, but learned after a while that when you're watching a football game or something, wasn't the moment to try and do that. However, I could, if I chose my moment well, that meant you would receive what I had to say a lot better too. So there was a bit of learning in that as well.
Yeah. And probably when I was tired at the end of the day was not the best time either. Or just about to go to sleep or whatever. I think it was also for us, Jenny, making sure that we didn't go to sleep angry with each other, that there were times where we did have to talk something through when the kids were to bed or whatever, so that we didn't hold on to any grudges or frustrations or whatever we have.
And I'm aware too, it's not just husband and wife relationships that relates to. It can be housemates living in a combined quarters with other people, and often these days cooped up with each other all the time. It's so much better to get some of those frustrations out so you can sleep well and have good relationships with people the next day.
And also in the context of a church where God calls you to love and care for each other and rub shoulders with people that probably in other circumstances you may not choose to call them friends or associate with them or spend time with them. And yet God calls you to be God's people together. And so that takes a bit of effort and work as well.
That's right. There's a lot of forgiveness involved. None of us are perfect people.
That's right.
So it takes a while to get your head around that it can't be, anywhere you go is not going to be perfect.
That's right.
And so how to love one another in that is part of the challenge.
So any church that stays together, any marriage that stays together, there will be a lot of forgiveness, operating. And that's important for us to remember. So let us not love with words or speech, but with actions and in truth. And obviously speech is important, but it's not the bottom line. It's actually what we do.
Yep. Okay. Good to talk.
Bye.
See ya.